Are you new to Canada and want to know how you buy a home in Canada? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a program that is very specifically designed to help new Canadians get into a new mortgage for a home in Canada. And there's many different types of programs out there, and this one is really specially designed to help new Canadians. And so today I brought on a guest. His name is Cam Brown. And Cam is a mortgage expert, and he's helped many of my clients that are new to Canada and other clients as well find a mortgage and get that mortgage loan approved. So there's things that you need to know, and best person to have is a mortgage expert. And Cam, thank you so much for being a part of this program.
Nice to be with you, Dean, and also nice to be talking to your followers on your channel.
Oh, well, thanks. And again, you've been a real big help for my clients. And again, I just thank you again for coming on. And what we're going to do today is really just kind of cover the things that you need to know. And ultimately, you definitely want to get in touch with a mortgage professional that you trust. And this is something that you want to have somebody walk you through the process. And so there's many different things about it. And but today we're just going to give you a good overview of it and just help you have a better understanding what options are available for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, just to overview, Dean, we spoke off camera about the number of new to Canada immigrants that are arriving. Just as a summary, looking forward, the government of Canada has plans to allow 500,000 more immigrants to our country in 2024. And so it occurred to both of us that it would be very helpful for people following you on this channel and their friends and their family to know about the New to Canada Mortgage Lending Program, because it can be very helpful. Mm-hmm. So just to provide some comparison, rules to qualify for a mortgage in Canada are set by the government of Canada and enforced through the Bank of Canada. So anybody that's doing mortgage lending in our country has to observe the guidelines. And one of the guidelines is that the mortgage applicant must have a 2-year strong credit history to demonstrate that they know how to manage their credit, so that a prospective mortgage lender is comfortable in extending a loan to them, knowing that their credit history supports them being good credit managers. That can pose a problem to somebody who, if they haven't come from the United States, the credit monitoring agencies in North America won't have a record of their credit activity. Therefore, there won't be a credit score for them, and that can make qualifying for financing very difficult. Mm-hmm. The guidelines require that you have a 2-year history of credit performance. That history can include, or typically includes, a car loan, credit card activity, a utility bill payment activity. And if you're new to the country, you have probably not had an opportunity to get established or have a 2-year history. So the New to Canada program is available through a few of the lenders that I work with, and it's designed to short circuit that missing credit history to enable applicants to do a home purchase much more quickly. Mm-hmm. The requirements are that you have at least a 5% down payment, that you be in Canada on a work permit basis or on a landed immigrant basis. You have to have arrived in Canada within the last 60 months or 5 years to be considered a new Canadian or a new to Canada applicant. Mm-hmm. You must have a full-time job with at least a 3-month history, and you must have enough a sufficient level of income to meet the normal debt service ratio guidelines. So the advantage of the New to Canada program that many of my lenders are offering is that your timeline to produce a credit history is shortened. In many cases, depending on the applicant's occupation, in many cases, the credit history can be replaced by a letter of reference from a recognized financial institution in their home country. It can be supported by a letter of reference from a landlord evidencing that the rental payments here in Canada have been made on a consistent and regular basis without any collection issues. And additionally, satisfactory payment of utility bill payments or car insurance can act as a replacement for a credit score or a credit profile.
Okay.
Additionally, just announced the ability for an applicant to provide a down payment that is in the form of a gift from a family member. So many people arriving in Canada have maybe not had an opportunity to set aside that required 5% for down payment purposes, but they may have family here or they have family abroad, and in order to help them get established here, a gift of that down payment is permissible, as long as there's paperwork supporting the funds being placed in a bank account. Another helpful improvement that's just been made is applicants can buy up to a fourplex property, provided that the applicant live in at least one of those 4 units. So where that can be helpful is more than one family may be arriving in Canada. This new feature, a brother and sister who are married could apply for financing to purchase, say, a duplex, as long as one of the applicants lived in one side of the duplex. The other side of the duplex could be rented, could be provided to another family member. So it offers, again, more flexibility for individuals or couples that or families that come to Canada where there's a network of other countrymen here. It gives those applicants an opportunity to consolidate their resources in the form of a common dwelling place.
Yeah. That's. I think that really helps a lot of people. Again, they're coming to Canada. You want to find a place to live, and it's no secret. There's a challenge with housing in Canada right now. And so, like even renting, a lot of people, if they have the option, would prefer to buy. And so, that's where this program, I think, is really, really important to investigate further for you and your family. Just giving options, and just to let our guests know here, or my viewers, is that you can help anybody in Canada. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The company I'm associated with is national in nature. We operate from coast to coast. So while I'm based in Calgary, if somebody is looking to purchase in Ontario or the Atlantic provinces or British Columbia, I've got a network that would help that person obtain the financing they need.
Okay.
And I'm quite happy to answer any questions in the meantime if somebody isn't sure. Or has some specific questions. Everybody's situation is a little bit unique, so I may not have covered everybody's circumstance just now, but happy to have a chat with them or work with them via email to clarify or answer questions.
No, that's really good because I have as well. I mean, obviously we work in Calgary, but I have a network across Canada, actually, and the United States. But if you're looking to buy a home, even, obviously the very first step is to get pre-qualified and see what all your options are, right? You want to know, what the current interest rates are. And of course, these mortgages, different mortgages have different benefits and that kind of thing too. So of course, that's what you would go over with them. Yeah.
That's right. It's really important to share numbers with a prospective applicant, whether they're seeking financing under the New to Canada program or just traditionally. You need to know what your monthly payment is going to be. You need to know if that payment amount is at a level that you can qualify to carry. And you need to do some budgeting to make sure that you've got income left over after the mortgage payment to buy the groceries and pay the utilities and do all the other family activities that go along with being a homeowner.
Right. So if somebody they feel that they qualify, what kind of documentation? You touched on it a bit, but what kind of specific documentation would they need to provide at the time of application?
I'm quite comfortable working with somebody with just information.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, whenever there's an actual purchase that's been contracted for, a lender will want to see from the applicant bank statements that demonstrate that there is sufficient down payment dollars on deposit. They want to see letter from an employer or employers if husband and wife are applying to confirm what the annual income is for each individual. They typically want to see a couple of pay stubs that support the income that is being referenced on the letter of employment. They want to see details of the home that they're being asked to finance. So that's something that you and I work towards. And they want to see a purchase contract that outlines what the actual purchase price of the property is, what the property tax payments will be, and what the details of the property are.
Okay.
Additionally, we need to share with the lender what the applicant's other forms of credit might be. So a borrower is only allowed to carry so much debt. Some of that's comprised of the forecasted mortgage payment, and if there's a car payment or if there are credit card payments or student loans, those numbers have to be factored into the qualifying formula to determine if you'd be allowed to carry the mortgage and service it comfortably.
Okay. And so, are there some limitations? I know some people have their own businesses and different things, different ways of income. Are there any limitations people should know about?
The limitations primarily are this program would not be available to somebody who's looking to buy a revenue property, an investment property. The financing is only for a dwelling that the applicants are prepared to live in. Exception being I'm buying a duplex and I'm living in one half and will be renting the other half out or providing it to my parents. The program is not available for somebody who wants to buy a vacation property. So a cottage at the lake wouldn't qualify, and the borrower has to have verifiable income. There are some programs out there for people who are self-employed where you don't have to have tax returns to support the income you declare. This is not one of those programs. You have to have verifiable income in the form of an employment letter and pay stubs, and be an employee as opposed to self-employed business owner.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And if you are a self-employed, then again, it's still good to reach out, and you can see there might be a program, or a lender that would take a look at that situation potentially. And that's where
Yeah.
maybe contacting, an expert
We
would be
should,
a good idea.
yeah, we should clarify.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a business owner and still qualify for the New to Canada program if you in fact are new to Canada.
Okay.
But you have to have verifiable declared income as
Okay.
opposed to being a business owner who has a good accountant who minimizes their income
Okay.
to save on tax exposure. So that's a whole different program that we can talk
Okay.
about in another date, I think.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. Well, no, that's awesome. That's definitely a good program, and I know it gets
It
used a
is.
lot. Yeah. Yeah. So.
It does. So
Mhm.
if subscribers to your channel may not be in the new to Canada category themselves, but if they have friends or family, pass on this information because it could be helpful for those of your friends that are hoping to buy.
Well, yeah, please feel free to share this video and, of course, like it. Comment below as well if you have a specific question for Cam. I'll be able to get those questions to him, and then we'll answer those. If you want to chat with him directly, I highly recommend it. The nice thing about this program is that there's no fee to you to do it. It's paid through the lender. And so Cam would be more than happy to chat with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just leave your information. All my contact information is below. You can send me a text, email, WhatsApp, whatever. Just tell me a little bit about your situation. And of course, if you're in Calgary or the area, I love helping people find a home that's in their budget. And that's where Cam and I work together. Once we know what you want in a home, once I know what you want, I'm going to set you up and help you find really the best home that meets all of your criteria and in your budget. So once again, thanks again for spending some time on the call. I don't know if you have any last words or tips or advice. If you do, what would you say?
No, just again, happy to, it costs nothing to ask questions, and I'm happy to answer those questions and help somebody get into a home of their own.
Fantastic.
It's always a great day. It's always a great day for real estate.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for watching, and
All right, you're welcome.
we'll see you on the next one. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.